Sat Shri Akal, Amritsar. Aren't we all blessed to be living in this holy city? It's about 2:10 right now. And honestly tell me, who is thinking about the lunch buffet laid outside? That's how you spot a true blue Punjabi. At breakfast, we are wondering what we're going to eat for lunch. And at lunch, it's all about our evening snacks and what we're going to have for dinner. Our whole lives rotate around our food. The way to our hearts is surely through our stomachs. You know you're in Punjab when the wedding buffet dishes are more than your relatives. And our hospitality includes overfeeding our guests. And tell me honestly, I need a raise of hands on this. How many of us have come home and discussed a cocktail, a wedding party, and judged it solely based on the food served? All of us. Yes, we are Punjabis, a race proud of its cultural heritage and even prouder of our Amritsari kulchas and our butter chickens. Punjabis just don't eat food, they celebrate it, they worship it, and it's like a VIP guest at every meal. It's unfortunate though that all our food is labeled heavy or fattening. But believe me when I say this, we also have some hidden superfoods in our kitchen that have been there for decades and have been an integral part of our cuisine. And these humble superfoods actually contribute a great deal to your health. They help in fixing your gut microbiome. So, move aside quinoa, sardo, avocados, and matcha. And let's talk about our Punjabi superheroes like kanji, gur, lassi, ghee, and achar. Men, tell me something. I need a raise of hands on this. How many of us love eating our golgappas? Yes, that's a big yes. The salty, savory, tangy liquid going down our throats. Wow, gives you so much joy, right? And suddenly you feel a surge of energy. You want to know why? Because that's saline water that's hydrating you to a cellular level. I can see some of you salivating already. Also, so does our humble kanji. In the West, it's given a fancy name like kombucha and hailed as a hero, a superhero probiotic that is so good for your stomach lining. And a humble kanji made with just 3 or 4 simple ingredients like fermented carrots, salt, mustard seeds, water, and sunshine. That's it. That is Punjab's probiotic powerhouse. The kombucha industry is worth $2 billion globally. And our very own kanji costs about 20 rupees to make in our kitchen. And a 2020 study published in Frontier Microbiology confirmed the presence of lactic acid bacteria that improves your gut microbiome, which in turn aids digestion, boosts your immunity, and improves your mental health. Wow. Let that sink in. Our mental health. And what does your mental health constitute of? Your mental health is how you feel each day, your productivity, how you perform at work, how you perform at school, your mood swings throughout the day, and the feeling of blah, which is so prevalent in today's day and age. How I react to situations. They are all an indication of your mental health. And in turn, a clear sign of a gut which is good or poor. So basically, the quality of your life depends upon your gut health, your gut microbiome. So why will you not spend 10 to 15 minutes in a week preparing this beautiful fermented purple excelsior, which could do wonders for your gut health? The next food that is truly Punjab's powerhouse is our very own Desi ghee. And our very own Punjabi Munda, Mr. Akshay Kumar, fitness himself, swears by this routine of taking 1 teaspoon of Desi ghee first thing in the morning. And his doctors, trainers, were shocked when they realized that his joint health, his bone density, and his energy levels were off the charts. For decades, we have been made to believe that ghee clogs our arteries and raises our cholesterol. But studies show that ghee is rich in butyric acid, which actually reduces inflammation in the intestines and supports your gut health. It's also rich in fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, K, and E. It supports a healthy immune system response and reduces oxidative stress. But you want to know the big news about this superfood? Imagine it helps you lower the glycemic load of your meal. It means that when good fat is added, it helps you flatten your high blood sugar spike. So glucose enters the bloodstream slowly and steadily. The fat in the ghee also helps you in keeping you full for longer, so you don't overeat later. It actually helps you losing weight by increasing your metabolism. And let's get to the mathematical reasoning behind this superfood. So 1 gram of carbs actually just gives you 4 kcal of energy. And 1 gram of fat gives you 9 kcal of energy. And here we are, cutting ghee out from our diets and wondering, why am I so exhausted all the time? And now a Bollywood confession that will leave you shocked. Kareena Kapoor, our very own Bebo, confessed to eating paranthas with a dollop of desi ghee 2 to 3 times a week, even when she was a size 0. So ladies and gentlemen, let's add this golden liquid back in our daily routines and let it do its magic. And now, before I go on, I want to share a very personal story. So when I went to Australia to study, the only food that I carried with me from India was a jar of mango pickle, my favorite. And it broke in my bag. I was so miserable because that was my savior, my seasoning for my bland Aussie food. This fermented wonder has been made by our nanis and dadis and mothers for generations. And yes, we are talking about the underrated achar. All of us have a memory of those clay-colored burnies sitting on the windowsills in the sunniest part of our houses. My mum used to shake the burnies to make sure that the masala of the achar was evenly distributed. Half the time, the achar would be over even before it was fully fermented. Our nanis and dadis were hailed as superheroes with who had the best achar making capabilities. Recipes like this have been passed on from generations to generations of this fermented probiotic superfood, where the Japanese flaunt their miso paste and the Koreans have made kimchi its superstar, and the Germans have sauerkraut, which is now making waves as the new big probiotic. We have conveniently forgotten our achars. And I'm not talking about the salt-laden, oil-filled ready-made bottles, but the real, gorgeous, glistening, homemade fermented superfood, the homemade pickle, which is loaded with probiotics, antioxidants, and natural enzymes. Our khichdi is incomplete without that nimbu hing achar. Our dal chawal is bland without our flavorful mango achars. And our famous desi girl, yes, eating achar makes us desi. And our desi girl flaunts in an interview that she adds achar to even her pizza, sandwiches, and almost everything that she eats. This food is a perfect example of how we blend our culture, our climate, and cuisine into one big jar of happiness. Achars are always and always made according to the seasonal availability of produce. Winters bring our gobi, gajar, shalgam achar, and summer brings the amka achars. Our grandmas made them with so much love and attention to detail. Some even grinding their own masalas fresh to make this a storehouse of anti-inflammatory properties. So the next time you come across this superfood in your kitchen, embrace it with all the love that it was made with and acknowledge it as a culturally intelligent probiotic. Another Punjabi food that we Punjabis are proud to flaunt is a traditionally made gur or jaggery. Gur is rich in simple carbohydrates, especially sucrose, and gives you an instant energy boost without the sharp spike and crash. How many of you have been to our famous Punjabi eating outlet called Haveli? Yeah? Favorite for everyone. What do they serve you after you've eaten that heavy Punjabi food? Good and soft, correct. As good aids digestion, and consuming a small piece after your meal helps you in stimulating those digestive juices and enzymes. It reduces bloating. It's rich in minerals like iron, calcium, and magnesium. And since it comes from Punjab's very own ganne ke khet, it has no chemicals and no bleaching agents. Gur mixed with ginger, black pepper, turmeric was a home remedy to soothe sore throats and congestion. Nutritionists are now acknowledging the power of eating gur mixed with chana and ghee as a storehouse of iron. And why is iron important? For hormone synthesis, especially your thyroid hormones and your reproductive hormones. Gur and jeera mixed together have been given to feeding mothers to improve milk production. In a study in the Journal of Food Science and Technology, jaggery contains 50 times more minerals than refined white sugar. And in Ayurveda, it's hailed as rasayana, a rejuvenator. But here we are, running away, and after our fancy stevias and artificial sweeteners, and paying double the price for them. Gur is not just a sweetener, but a medicine disguised as dessert. And here's what's fascinating. Modern nutrition science keeps discovering what Punjabi culture and cuisine have known for years. We are now sipping expensive golden lattes at Starbucks, where haldi milk was a staple in most of our households before the West even acknowledged the anti-inflammatory properties of turmeric. Our ghee and fresh nuts were already being fed to us by our mothers for good brain and gut health, long before fancy fish oil supplements hit the market. Our fermented treasures like kanji and achars were already on our kitchen windowsills, long before the fancy probiotic market became a billion-dollar industry. Our garam masalas were freshly grounded and are practically pharmacies in a bottle. And now I'm not saying, oh, throw away those memberships and start grinding your own masalas and go 50 years back. No. I'm just asking you to add some Dadi wisdom to our modern lifestyles, which will help you strengthen your immunity and heal your gut naturally. The beauty of Punjabi cuisine is that it's defined for real people who work hard, play hard, and need real food that sustains them, and not just Instagram likes. And why are we here today? Why are we here? We are here to celebrate the richness of our Punjabi traditions, the flavors, the wisdom that has been passed down from generation to generation. These superfoods like kanji, gur, achar, and ghee are more than just ingredients. They are stories of love, bonding, deep connections with our community, our loved ones, and our families. We owe it to our children and their children to keep this legacy alive and not let these traditions just fade into memories. The last words that I leave you here with is that food is not always just about calories, but about culture, continuity, and community. Thank you.